Jackie, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that I got to sit down and film another video for you guys so soon. I've actually had the flu and a respiratory infection for several days and it's been miserable, and I'm finally feeling better, and so I wanted to play with makeup and I wanted to sit down and I wanted to film it. Of course, because I haven't been able to wear makeup forever, I wanted to do something dramatic and fun. But the main reason that I wanted to do this makeup look in particular is because I've noticed that there have been several of you that have commented about how you're really intimidated to use color, you're really intimidated to do smoky eyes, because it's kind of scary, honestly, when you first start playing with a lot of color, with a lot of bright colors especially, or really dark colors, and you want to do a really blown out smoky eye. It feels like you're never going to be able to do without making yourself look like a raccoon, and I totally understand how you're feeling because it took me a while to get there as well. It just took a lot of learning how to blend better and learning how to work with my eye shape. Everybody's eye shape's different, so it can be a little bit tricky, but when I want to do a really blown out round smoky eye like this, it is more tricky for my downturned eye shape, if that makes sense, because I typically have to do my eyeshadow in a way where I'm making my eyes look more lifted, kind of a cat eye effect with the smoky eye. But if I want them to look more rounded and blown out, I can't do that. So this video is explaining how to do that with this particular eye shape. It's also explaining how to blend it in a way that looks really, just really good and really intentionally messy and blown out, if that makes sense. Not like a raccoon, but more like a sultry goddess. I love how this turned out. I knew I wanted to work with warmer colors. I wanted to incorporate like plum in there just to deepen it up and make it even more smoky. And it's so pretty. I'm so excited to show you guys how I created this look, and if you are interested in seeing it, then just keep on watching. To get started, I'm going to use my Morphe 3502 palette. I love this palette when I'm doing a really warm smoky eye because it's got all of these really beautiful warm shades in there. It's got a lot of mattes and shimmers, and you can do so many different kinds of warm looks with this palette. I just love it. I've already primed and powdered my lids so I can get right into the eyeshadow look. I'm going to first grab this scone blending brush right here, and I am going to pick up the shade right here. It's called Universal, and I'm going to pop that all over my upper crease area as my transition shade. I want to keep this smoky eye really rounded. That's my goal. I want it to look round even though I have downturned and droopy eyes. And so I'm just going to start here on the inner corner, and I'm just going to try to give a really rounded shape to my crease. So instead of going with the natural shape of my crease, I'm going to go up and around and then back down to the corner here. And I'll just continue to do that until I get the color payoff that I want. I usually like to slowly build because it's just so much easier to blend that way. Like I said, I want to take this color pretty high and I want to keep it round. So going up really high in the center and then coming back down to the outer corner. I'm going to grab this shade right here. It's called Blaze, and I'm going to place that all over my crease, but I'm going to keep it a little bit lower than my transition shade, but I still want to bring it up pretty high. To blend that on the crease, I'm using my Ipsy L34 blending brush. I'm going to actually really work on packing this color on first. So I'm just going to press it all over my upper crease area and then bring it down to meet the inner corner of the eye and the outer corner of the eye. Trying to give that rounded shape. I want the background of this smoky eye to be really popping, so I'm going to go ahead and build a little bit more with the color intensity. Just like that. I'm going to come back in with that Scone blending brush and a little bit more of that universal color, and I'm going to blend that just right on the edge of the orange, just to get rid of that really harsh line. I don't want to come down onto the orange shade too much because I don't want to get rid of any of that color that I just placed. Just like that. Now I really want to map out the dark part of the crease that I want to place. I'm going to do that right now. And to place that, I'm going to grab this. It's one end of this Pure Cosmetics duo-ended brush right here. I love using this one because it's got a slight curve to it, but it's pretty flat, so I can use it to blend, but it stays in a more concentrated area. It's easier to work with when I want the color to not disperse too much in the crease. Now I'm going to come in with this shade right here from my Ace Beauty Grandiose palette right here. It's called Poppy, and I'm going to place that right in the crease. I'm actually going to come in with a really bright red, but I'm going to do that after I map out my crease. I know that seems really strange, but bear with me. So I'm going to start on the very inner corner over here, and then I'm going to just press this, and I'm going to kind of tip the brush down like this so that it's sitting on my lid, and that way I can have better control and it doesn't go too high. And I'm just going to map out a really round shape with it. Come back to the outer corner, kind of laying it flat on the lid, and then mapping out that shape a little bit. So as you can see, the highest part of my crease that I am making with the shade is right in the center here. And then I'm coming back down. Just like that. Now I'm going to come in with a smaller blending brush. I'm going to take this. This is a Luxe 229 right here. And I'm going to come back in with my Morphe 35C palette. I am going to pick up this shade right here called Fire. So it's very, very red. And I'm just going to place that on the edge of the brush like that. I don't want to get it all over it because I want to have a little bit more control. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that right on the edge of that Poppy shade that I just placed. Just following that same line. I'm not worried if the Poppy kind of gets lost in it because I am going to come back in with more of that color. Right now, I just want to kind of go over it and intensify that color. Then I'm going to come back in with that Ipsy L34 brush and just run that along the edge of the red with whatever of that orange shade is left on the brush. I'm not going to worry about adding any more color in. Told you, it's looking crazy. It's going to come together. I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm seeing a vision here. All I want to do is grab the other end of this Pure Cosmetics brush. I'm going to grab this flat end right here. And I am going to spritz it with this Ready Set Radiant by Tarte, just so I can pick up some more color. The first shade I am going to place is this Poppy shade right here, the same shade that I just used to map out the crease a couple steps ago. And I'm going to place this all over the lid, but I'm going to try to maintain that same shape. This is why I placed powder underneath, because I'm getting some fallout now. I should have tapped out my brush first, but I forgot to do that. So I'll go ahead and place it all over the lid first. Going all the way to the outer corner here. And then bringing it up into the crease. And since I already placed that poppy shade, there's not really a huge need to blend the shade into the crease, which makes it really nice and easy to keep that color intensity that I want. I'm grabbing this little theBalm Meet Matrimony eyeshadow right here, and it's this really dark plum. The reason why I wanted to place that poppy shade on first is because it's gonna brighten up the plum a little bit so it's not so purple. It's gonna look a little bit more like a dark maroon shade instead of just purple on the lid, which is more what I'm going for. Focusing it directly on the lid first. Getting so much fallout because I didn't tap it out, guys. If you're doing an intense eyeshadow look, place some setting powder under the eyes. It'll save your life. Love that. And then lightly bring that up into the crease. Just slightly, keeping that rounded shape. Now I want to take a combination of the shade Poppy right here and the shade Ablaze, and I want to blend that all over directly into the crease again, just to help soften up that line that I created with the lid shadow. And just being really soft, trying not to get rid of any of that color that I placed, and keeping it low. Just like that. Now I'm going to take this 100% pure creamy long lasting eyeliner, and I'm going to run that along my tight line up here. And then I'm just going to really lightly run it right along my lash line as well. This is really just for the lash band more than anything. And for lashes, I'm going to come in with these. They're my House of Lashes Siren. I like to use these because, I don't know if you guys can tell when you look at them, but they're very rounded, which is what I'm going for with this look, is a very rounded smoky eye. So I can make sure that the center of the lashes is in the center of my lid, where I'm trying to keep that round. It's going to give that same illusion that I'm going for. Again, I'm trying to keep the longer part of the lash more towards the center. So that actually means I'm not bringing the lash all the way to my outer corner over here, because my lash line kind of droops down a little bit. And I'm actually going to bring it in a little bit more towards the inner corner than usual. So as you can see, my natural lash line continues down here, and I've still got lashes right here, but I'm going to not put any mascara right down there, and I'm going to not pay attention to those lashes. I'm using my falsies to make it seem like my lash line kind of stops right here, and that just helps give the illusion of a more rounded eye. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and place on some mascara. Just right at the base to blend my natural lashes in with the falsies a little better. Anybody else's hands get super messy when they do makeup. Like, I can't do my makeup and not get everything all over my hands. I've got all this fallout under my eyes, but because I've got the setting powder under there, it just all brushes away, which is so nice. It's the best thing ever if you prefer to do your face makeup first. So I'm just going ahead and brushing all of that baking powder off my face. There you go. So I'm going to start with the darkest color first, which means I'm actually going to be picking up this angled liner brush by Bodyography, sorry, and then this Pretty Vulgar ink liner, and I'm gonna put this in my waterline actually, because I want it to be super duper black. So I know I'll have to tip my head down. Hopefully you guys can still see what I'm doing. I'm bringing it all the way into the inner corner. And then I want to pick up a really small blending brush. I'm using this Luxe mini flat angled brush. It's the Luxe 111. I'm gonna grab this Meet Matrimony mini eyeshadow palette right here by theBalm, and I'm gonna tap into that, and I want to run this right underneath that black, tapping it out because I don't want it to fall out now that I've wiped all that baking powder off. But kind of pressing it in a little bit into that black. And then I'm going to bring it to meet the same shade here on my outer corner. Now I'm going to take this Luxe 131, it's this mini angled brush. Actually, I'm going to grab this pencil brush instead because I want to be a little bit more precise. I'm actually going to grab a combination of these three, of the Poppy, the Ablaze, and the Fire shade. And I'm just going to run that right along the edge underneath of that Meet Matrimony color. Making it a little bit more thin as I come towards the inner corner. I lost a little bit of that Meet Matrimony color, so I am going to come back in and I'm going to pack it because I do want it to show under the eye. And so I'm going to grab this Luxe 141, maybe spritz a tiny bit, and see if I can get a little bit more color intensity. There we go. I just wanted to show up a little bit more than it was so that you see like a gradient transition with those colors under my eye as well. All right, and now I'm going to come back with that Luxe 131 mini angled brush, and I'm just going to pick up this universal shade right here, and I'm going to run that all under these colors that I placed, and that's just gonna help it blend into my face makeup a little bit better. So I'm just gonna go right underneath all of those shades. So starting here on the outer corner and just coming all the way into the inner corner. That's just really gonna help it look even more blown out. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my mascara on my lower lashes. I'm grabbing this Wander Beauty Unlashed mascara. So now I want to do a pop of highlight in my inner corner. And to do that, I'm going to grab this tiny theBalm Cosmetics, again, it's called theBalm Voyage. And it's this really pretty illuminizer right here. It's hard to see, but I'll put it on my finger. I don't know if you guys can see it. Ooh, it's just really, 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 really pretty. I'll just grab a little flat brush to do that. And I'll go ahead and put some right under my brow bone as well. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to highlight the tip of my nose. And then right along the center of my nose as well. Okay, for blush, it's called Balm Springs, and it's this blush right here, and I'm gonna place that all over my cheeks. I think I'll just go ahead and pick up my Luxe 660 to place that on my cheeks. Just really want to focus on the apples of my cheeks first, and then blend it back. I'm going to pick up this Luxe Duo Fiber Powder Brush. It's the Luxe 516. I'm going to grab this theBalm Voyage highlighter again. Place that all over the tops of my cheeks to highlight. Now I think I want to glow a little extra, so I'm going to go ahead and spritz my face. Now my face is a little bit damp. I'm going to grab that Luxe brush again, and whew, there you go. That just intensifies the highlight a little bit more, which is what I wanted. Just for the tops of those cheekbones. And then I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just kind of go over all of those shades just to soften up and get them to kind of blend and melt together a little bit better. Still want it to be intense, but I don't want it to be harsh, if that makes sense. I'm grabbing this Italia Deluxe Lip Liner in the shade Mauve, and I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with that color. Go ahead and fill in my lips with it as well. I'm using this, it's this Colourpop lip gloss in the shade Midnight Snack. And because my lips are super dry, to add a little bit of hydration, I'm gonna grab this Essence Oh So Matte lipstick in the shade 15. It's pretty close to the same color as that Colourpop lipstick. I'm just gonna put that right over the top. Just like that. That is it for this makeup look. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that it was informative and helpful. And if you guys decide to recreate this look, please tag me or let me know in the comments down below, link your Instagram or wherever you're posting it. I would love to see your versions of this. I would love to see those of you that maybe are a little bit more scared about playing with color, branching out and trying and having fun with it. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell to stay updated about my future uploads, and hopefully I'll continue to upload a little bit more frequently. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next one.